Hey everyone, if you have ever struggled with writing a report, you're in the right place. Today, I'll show you exactly how to write a clear, professional, and effective report, step by step. And guess what? I have two awesome giveaways. You can download the PowerPoint from this video for free, and I'll personally correct a report for all of you in the comments. So, stick around, and by the end of this video, you will have everything you need to write a perfect report. Let's get started. The first thing you should learn about is the definition. You will write what is a report exactly, and then you will be able to deal with it more clearly. And then we're gonna take some assignment, something to understand from if this is kind of report or there are mistakes we should learn from. So we're gonna learn about the report structure. What is follow like a certain way to write a report from up to down. So there must be a structure I should learn. And also we're gonna learn about tips and recommended sentence structures. Followed, we will write a professional report or just like a well-praised one from our managers or maybe from the one who you are reporting to. Some things that you will include and that are recommended in your report, and we will understand each one of them and give examples about the inverted conditionals, the double comparatives, passive structures, or cleft sentence or linkers. Those may be ambiguous names and terms, but with time, they will come to be understood and known very clearly. So we will also learn about what's not recommended. And this may include idioms, phrasal verbs, contractions, and also giving personal opinions. And we will also have one slide for writing checklist, and this checklist will be very to you. So you will use it and will under feedback about your writing, like did I do this right, did I do that wrong? So all of these things we will learn together. And we will also take this. I feel like this is just like it can be a gift because these are useful phrases and expressions. I'll tell you a lot of them, and just by memorizing these things, they will be very, very important in writing your report. You will use them, and once you use them, you will feel a great, noticeable change in how you write. And also the same thing for the phrases to develop the ideas, introductory words, or a sentence with a very active way, and writing recommendations in general or phrases to write with in general, and also for your conclusion, how to write an attractive or you can say a useful conclusion. And the last thing is useful expressions. We will also take useful expressions to write them from now and then. So let's start. And the first thing we have here is what is a report? This is a question. Please ask yourself the same thing. What is a report? And try to flip to the next slide once you understand what is exactly a report. So we need definition of report just to you, maybe your manager, maybe your teacher at school, maybe your teacher at university, and they are telling you to write a report about something. So you need here to talk like you are a professional person responsible for this subject you will talk about. You are someone who can analyze, detail, summarize on a factual based method what happened in this subject you are talking about or in this topic. So you should understand how to write about something in a very formal way. Maybe you are asked to analyze, maybe you are asked to detail something, maybe you are asked to summarize it. And at the end of your report, you will have to or you should make recommendations. So this is what is actually you are told to do by writing a report. Also, you have to understand that writing a report may include actually to put charts or graphs or statistical tables, especially if you are in a category like finance. Maybe if you are an accountant or you are required to write a report, then you might include some charts or graphs. So you have to be very prepared for this, well prepared, I guess, and you have to understand how to do that in the right way. Also, the language that you will use has to be formal, and it must tend to be academic or work or one that is used for work related purposes. And we will see together what is the difference between writing a language that is suitable for writing reports and this academic kind of writing, and how to write something that is not related to academic writing. So let's see together how we can do that. So I want you to look at this report right here. I'll give you like from 5 to 10 minutes exactly to define what are the mistakes happened in this report. Please look carefully at this report because you will notice that there are many mistakes that this report contains. These mistakes are very horrible if you're going to write a report. So you should pay great attention to what are these mistakes and try to figure them out yourself and then come back for the feedback. So please stop the video and start analyzing this report and find mistakes. All right, so I guess by now you understood what are the mistakes here, or maybe you collected some of them. I know that you are not required to know all of the mistakes here, but I guess you should at least try to like forecast what are they or what they're gonna be. Let's now see them and understand what happened and why this person who wrote this report has a lot of mistakes. So the first thing he made, first mistake was using informal language. And let's see clearly in evidence how this happened. First, let's talk about what's wrong. The report we saw actually uses very casual slang-like words that maybe not suitable for formal writing. Let's see what are examples from his report that he used informal language that is not actually good to be written in a report. So at first he said maybe crazy 20%. And of course, you can't write such a word in a report. That's very informal. And also here, totally awesome new marketing campaign went through the roof. That's an idiom. So we will take that also in a separate factor. And also cool redesign, which is what cool do you think this is proper for a report? A ton of new customers. Look at this word, a ton of. This approach is the bomb. But the bomb, is that a word that can be written in a report? Competitors shaking in their boots. Well, you can say that to your friend, you can say that in a company, but do you think you can write that? I doubt. So these expressions you saw, it makes the report sound very informal and it's much of a conversational one, but it's not the type of one that you can write for a manager or in a company or even in any academic possible way. So let's see how can we change these errors and make them applicable and able to be written in a formal report. So let's see. Instead of saying, for example, crazy 20%, I can say a significant 20%, a remarkable 20%. These words are better than saying crazy. Crazy is not a right word to say in a report. But look at these words, we can use them instead. Also, when he said totally awesome new marketing campaign, he could say a highly effective new marketing campaign. But totally awesome is based on my own opinion, and nobody cares for your opinion if you are writing a report. They are more to pay attention to what are the facts say, what are the analysis, the data analysis say, but nobody will care about what exactly you want to feel about new marketing campaign. So look at this change, highly effective new marketing campaign. And also, instead of saying went through the roof, which is a very famous idiom that maybe sit in the American environment or a British one, but here you can say instead increased substantially. Increased substantially. So the sales or the profits of the company increased substantially this year, a lot more compared to the last. So this is a very formal, academic, attractive way talking about increase. Instead of saying this, which is very beautiful, but not in a report. Look here, cool redesign. We're supposed to say maybe innovative redesign, creative redesign, but not cool. Cool is a word not valid for formal writing. A ton of new customers. Well, nobody actually can think about this word as a formal word. We know that this is something we can say between us among friends, but the better way to say that is a large number of new customers. And some people say this approach is a bomb. We can say this approach is exceptionally effective. That's better, you know? So we can say the bomb, we can say exceptionally effective. And the last one we have here, competitors shaking in their boots. That's a very beautiful idiom. We can exchange it with competitors may find it challenging to match this success. That's good one. And we can also say I can't remember this phrase very much, but I guess we can say we used a highly effective new marketing campaign that could undercut our competitors. Undercut competitors is a very beautiful word to say. And undercut competitors means to make competitors unable to compete in the market. The second mistake the writer made was expressing opinions rather than factual information. So instead of finding myself reading about someone who wrote something based on analysis and based on figures or numbers or sales figures or something, I found myself trying to understand someone's opinion, and it's merely an opinion. So let's see here. So objective or subjective opinions are not welcomed in a report. Rather, we should write in an objective way. Objective data succeed in reports. For example, he said here, in my opinion, the best performance we have ever seen. In my opinion, why should we care about your opinion? We need numbers to understand this. I honestly believe this is also a very immature way to express how a report should go. That our totally awesome new marketing campaign is the main reason behind this success. It's obvious. Well, it's obvious based on what? That this approach is the bomb. So let's see how can we change these examples and understand what can happen. So let's replace, in my opinion, the best performance we have ever seen. We can replace it with the performance in this quarter represents the highest sales growth in the past 5 years. That's better, you know. In my opinion, we changed that into the performance in this quarter represents the highest sales growth in the past 5 years. But of course, we can't write it unless we have the data. So we are writing it assuming we have data to prove it. We will not just gonna write this and leave it there. No, we gonna prove it with numbers, with charts maybe, with graphs, with any data we have. And instead of, I honestly believe that our totally awesome new marketing campaign, the main reason behind this success, we can say data analysis indicates that the new marketing campaign contributed significantly to the increase in sales. So there is something here. There is something that denotes the change happened instead of saying I honestly believe. So when we analyzed the data, it indicated that the new marketing campaign is the main contribution or the main reason we significantly had an increase in sales. That's better than saying this one above. Also, when we say it's obvious that this approach is a bomb, we can say the approach has proven effective based on recent performance metrics. So the approach has proven effective based on what? Which is the best question you can ask yourself while writing a report. Based on what? Based on recent performance metrics, which is a very beautiful answer, and also assuming you have the data. The last one we have is overly casual tone. As you see, our friend here used a very casual tone, and he used idioms also when he said went through the roof, and when he said this approach is the bomb. And I guess a more suited way is to talk in a formal rather than a casual way. And the corrections for that have to be went through the roof may be replaced with experienced a substantial increase. And instead of saying this approach is the bomb, we can say this approach has demonstrated significant effectiveness. Now we have finished talking about how to write a report in a formal way. We have given example that can clearly show us the way that we should introduce ourselves or we should teach ourselves how to write in a formal way, how to differentiate between formal and informal. If you did that, you will find yourself able to tackle how to make a strategic report that will attract and that will be praised by the one or whoever you will report it to. Let's now move to the second step, which is what is the report structure?